on one side we have young Leo Tolstoy on the page of his written manuscript for War and Peace. Okay, so here we have my bookshelf. Can you tell I'm extremely short? Okay, once again, I have to use my ottoman because I am extremely short. So this is my step ladder. I actually think I'm gonna make a minor change. I'm just gonna move this, put Tolstoy over here, and put Anna Karenina over here, just because I think I like how that looks overall a bit more. And I know you're gonna think, Carolyn, do you really need another copy of this book? And the answer is no, but yes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Carolyn if you are new here, and if you're not new here, then welcome back. Today I have a whole video dedicated to bookshelf reorganization. I was actually planning on including all of these clips in my War and Peace reading vlog because I'm currently reading War and Peace, and I actually had so much footage that I thought combining it with my War and Peace clips would just make a really long video, and so I thought it would make the most sense to split up these clips and to make one whole video about my bookshelf reorganization and then continue on just leaving War and Peace as a separate vlog. So that is what I'm doing. I also got a few new books which are right next to me. After I reorganized all of my books to what they look like now, I went book shopping with one of my closest friends, and I have some new books that I want to shelve, so I'm going to shelve those right now. I think I'm going to leave that for the end of the video just so that it's in chronological order and you can see what books I got recently. I will have my reading vlog still be going up for War and Peace. That's just going to be a separate video. I thought I would upload this one so that it can kind of be its own thing. That's why I just have, when I was reorganizing my books, I just had like a random t-shirt on and leggings because it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. I feel like that always happens with me, is I'll have a few books that I want to shelve and I'll say, okay, I'll shelve these few books and it won't take me that long, and then I end up reorganizing my entire bookshelf, which is basically what happened in this case. So that's why I had quite a lot of footage, more than I expected I would, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys. A bookshelf tour is coming. That was kind of part of the reason of why I wanted to reorganize my books, is because I do want to film a bookshelf tour pretty soon, and I'm really excited about that. I hope you guys are too. So yes, I think I'm going to shelve a few of these books and then put that towards the end of the video so it's in chronological order. So I hope you guys enjoy watching me reorganize my books, and a War and Peace reading vlog will be coming soon as well. I've just been super busy with some university work because it's the end of my semester, just trying to get all of my stuff figured out. So yes, I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get organizing. Hello everybody! Today is now April 7th. It is Wednesday, and Wednesdays I actually have off from school, so today has been quite a busy day. Yesterday I handed in my thesis project, my embroidered Anne of Green Gables cover, and it went so well. My professor really liked how it turned out and my whole class was really supportive, so that is just a huge weight off of my shoulders. I'm really excited to have it done and to have them like it, and it just went really well, so that's amazing. I have been reading War and Peace. I read a bit yesterday in between my classes and after, and I read a little bit outside because it was just so beautiful out today, and also some other exciting things that happened. Today I got new glasses. I don't know if you can tell because they look exactly like my other ones, but they're a little bit smaller. Like, they don't go so far down my face and they go up like a teeny bit over here. So they're like pretty much the same exact style, but just a little bit different, and I really like them. My prescription changed so much, so I can see so much better now. I kind of forgot that I was supposed to see clearly all the way in the deep distance because my eyesight got so bad. Anyway, so now I have new glasses and I can see so much better now, and I really, really love them, so happy with them. I got them from Warby Parker. That is a company that is not sponsoring this video. I wish they were, but I have wanted their glasses for years and years and years, and I just never got new glasses from them. And finally I was like, you know what, this is my time to buy myself Warby Parker glasses, and they're so cute and stylish and affordable, and they also donate, I believe, a pair of glasses to someone in need every time someone purchases a pair of glasses. So I just love that. They aren't sponsoring this video. I wish they were. But anyway, just thought I would let you know in case you wanted to know where they're from. They're called the Simons, and I have them in the gold. So yes, I'm so happy with them. I love them so much, and I can see. That's the best part. Okay, something else really exciting that happened was yesterday. While I was in my classes, I got a package, and if you're following me on Instagram, then you already saw this, but my next restock for my Etsy shop, all of my prints came in the mail and they were delivered, and they're beautiful, and I'm so happy with them. So if you didn't see them on my Instagram, you can find them on my Instagram. They're on the story highlight. It's just called On the Page, and then it's actually the one that's on the page too with the picture of Fyodor Dostoevsky on the little icon, because I had not enough space on my first On the Page story highlight. It got full, so I needed to make another one. But they're beautiful. They're all right in front of me, and I am going to film a whole separate Etsy update video where I show you guys all of the prints that are going to be in this newest restock and tell you a little bit about them and a few changes to my Etsy that I am having to make. So I just thought I would show you guys the prints that are most relevant to this vlog, aka relevant to Charles Dickens and Leo Tolstoy, of course. So the first one that I want to show you guys, I was actually inspired by you all and by the Dickens versus Tolstoy debate to create a bookmark / postcard on the page that is kind of for the Dickens and Tolstoy readers of the world. And so on one side we have young Leo Tolstoy on the page of his written manuscript for War and Peace. And what I think is so incredible is Leo Tolstoy used to draw in his manuscripts, like inside his words, and I just think that that's so incredible that he would draw some of his characters as he would write and kind of weave them into his sentences. So you can barely see them, but there's a boy over here. I'm honestly not too sure who the characters exactly are, but above his head there's a boy, and then to the right over here you can see a face really close to the top, right there. And then I believe there's another character over here, but you can't really see them that well. So I just think that that's so cool. It's like hidden characters inside his text characters, because characters are obviously, you know, words and things. And then on the other side, because you have to pick a side, is young Charles Dickens on the page of the serialized version of the Pickwick Papers. So it says the posthumous papers of the Pickwick Club, and it has the original illustration that you can find on the actual serialized pamphlets. They're like that green tone to the covers, and they're just so cool. So that's what the readers would get every month with a new Pickwick update to the story. And so now you have to pick a side, Dickens or Tolstoy, and you get two drawings on one card, which is just so exciting. Or I think it's exciting. I don't know about you guys, but I am so incredibly happy with how they came out. Can we just talk about how handsome both of them are, but also like Leo Tolstoy. He's so handsome. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited about these. I am so excited about them. I ordered 50 of them, so they are all here. You can see so many. They're all here. It's like playing cards. I'm so excited for you guys to have them if you purchase them, and we can all share in the Dickens and Tolstoy love. And then another one that I did that I am extremely excited about, and this one is kind of like the same but also an update. So this one I have had previously. This is older Leo Tolstoy on the page of the original Russian text of Anna Karenina. And then I also updated him a little bit, played around with lights and shadows, made him a bit more three-dimensional, and just created a bit more depth. And then on the other side is this drawing, which I did using charcoal, and it is 3 different Tolstoy portraits, all on one page with his signature on the top, because I just needed that on the page touch. I needed that signature there. This was actually just a drawing or a study that I wanted to do of Tolstoy himself, trying to figure out how his face is structured and the way that his eye sockets and the light and contrast of his face. It's the weird artist in me that just loves kind of diving into a person that I admire and really playing around with their portrait and, you know, seeing how their face is made up. It sounds so weird when I try to explain it, but I don't know if you'll understand or not. Maybe. Anyway, so this was just a really fun exercise, I guess, that I did for myself, and I loved it so much, and quite a few of you commented on my Instagram when I was posting pictures of it that you really loved it too, asking if it was going to be part of my Etsy, and now, yes, it is. So you are getting the original Tolstoy on the page portrait, and this nice charcoal one. So again, 2 on 1, so you can pick a side, whichever one. Or you can have both when you use it as a bookmark. And then the next one, this is an update that I did to Charles Dickens. So the original is actually over here. I'll show you that first. So this is the original Dickens that I did, one of my first ones. He has been part of my Etsy shop since I started, and I really, really love him. Love how he came out. I actually have my original drawing framed on my wall, but I wanted to update him a little bit and apply the things that I've learned while making these on the page portraits to my older sketches and just revamp them a little bit. So this one is the new Dickens, so I added more lights and shadows, and I put him on the page of his handwritten manuscript for Great Expectations. This is the actual first page, the typed version, and then this is the handwritten. So you can see that I made the sketch itself a little bit bigger, added more lights and shadows, and changed the type as well. And then on the other side, we have just the title page of Great Expectations, but on this side I put the manuscript of Oliver Twist, which is his second novel after Pickwick Papers, so I thought that would be a fun text to include on the page. And I'm just so incredibly pleased with how this came out, and I really like the new updates that I did, so I hope you guys do too. And I also feel like it just makes the whole experience a bit more exciting. It's like I don't have to stick with just one design. I can change them and add different things. Maybe down the line I'll put him on a different page, or I'll do a different typed manuscript. Maybe I'll do Our Mutual Friend, or Bleak House, or Hard Times, or Tale of Two Cities, and just continue to change it up with every restock maybe. I think that would be fun. One other one that I want to show you, and then I'm going to leave the rest kind of as a surprise. You'll have to wait for that whole Etsy video that I will upload. The next one that I'm so excited about, and this one I think it's a new favorite of mine, that is, I'm like wondering which side I should show you first. I'll show you this side first. It's Fyodor Dostoevsky on the page of his handwritten and hand-drawn Crime and Punishment manuscript. So again, like Leo Tolstoy, Fyodor Dostoevsky would actually draw on his manuscripts and next to his text, and also inside his text like Leo Tolstoy. So I included some of my favorite drawings that are found on his manuscript of Crime and Punishment, and then on the other side it's also Crime and Punishment, but it's a different drawing. So it's just incredibly fascinating to me that these wonderful writers actually drew as well, and they're very decent drawings. I mean, especially Fyodor Dostoevsky. Like, Tolstoy's are a bit more hidden in his manuscript, but these are just so, they have such a beautiful quality to them, and especially I love this one. I don't know if you can see too well, I can insert a picture, but that face right up here, it has such a serene quality to it that I don't imagine when I think of Fyodor Dostoevsky's work, because obviously they're very, you know, grim and bleak and dark, but I'm just so happy with how these came out, so I hope you guys are excited for my restock too, and look out for that Etsy video where I'll have a bunch of new information about my Etsy and different things like that, and you can see more authors that aren't Dickens or Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, because I have quite a few new and old drawings also, as well as some more updates like what I did with Charles Dickens. I updated a few of my older ones, made them a bit more exciting. And I think I am going to reorganize my bookshelves because I have quite a few new books and I have to somehow fit them into my bookshelf. Especially, I have a bunch of new Penguin black spines, which you can't see, they're up there, but I don't have enough room the way that I have them set up now, so I think I'm just going to film myself reorganizing my books a little bit and just cleaning up my reading room and my art studio, just so that things can be a bit more orderly. Also, I want to try to film a specific video and I need my bookshelves to be clean for it. So yes, I'm not going to say anything else. I'll leave you guys there. I'm going to go continue to reorganize my bookshelves. Maybe I will chit chat a little bit while doing it. Do you guys want that, or do you just want to watch me? Maybe I'll do a little bit of both. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here we have my bookshelf. Can you tell I'm extremely short? They're very tall. I am not. So all the way up there I have a pretty big space, and I think I'm going to move my books over a little bit so that I have more room. I'm just going to kind of shimmy them all over, because you can see I have a bunch of the Penguin black spines that I need to put away. I don't really have much space anymore, and I think these are all my Pan Macmillans as well as some are on my wall. I think I'm going to move them around a little bit, and I think I'm going to just continue doing my Penguins all the way over here. I also have some Penguin Deluxe editions that I want to put away. Those are new books that I actually haven't shown you guys that I've bought recently, so maybe I'll do a book haul soon, because I love a book haul. And I just have some random books on my shelves that I just kind of want to put away and organize. Anything else? I don't think so. I think, yeah, I have to move some things around. So yes, my main priority is figuring out space to put my Penguin black spines, and to figure out how I want to shimmy things over. So that's my plan. And I also think I want to add a few of my new author portraits onto my wall, but I will get to that in a little bit. For now, I'm going to move my books that are all the way up there over so that I can move all of them over and have more room for my penguins. I think that's what's the plan. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so those are the ones that you couldn't see because my camera didn't shoot that high, but I'm just going to move these over and then move all of my books over, just so that I have more room towards where my classics begin. And then once I do that, I will rearrange my penguins a little bit. You can also see right over here, I do have my Pan Macmillans and author portraits, but I'll show you guys a better shot of that in a little bit. Okay, once again, I have to use my ottoman because I am extremely short. So this is my step ladder. We're going to put it here. Okay, and then I'm going to move this stuff over. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with how it looks right now. So basically I rearranged this entire area, so I moved everything over, and I got rid of quite a few books because either I wasn't going to read them or I read them and I didn't think I would reread them. Different reasons that I think I wouldn't want them anymore, or give them to a better home, or if it was a duplicate, just give it to someone else. So that left me with a lot of room to move around and play with. So basically what this whole top section is either children's books, middle grade or young adult, and then I put it in rainbow order. Really the rainbow is pretty much just this shelf, and then it goes into grays, blacks, whites, and then the start of Carry On and Wayward Son is some of my favorite books in series. So we have Brian Selznick, Nevermore, and then we have Pages & Co., Tilly and the Book Wanderers, The Giver, Heartstopper, Radio Silence, and Alice Oseman books. Outlander is here, which is like a guilty pleasure read for me. And then we have all of Frederick Bachman books here, and then Kristen Hanna books here. So these are all books that I want to make sure I keep together, and I don't mind them being out of the rainbow order. And then starting from this book, which is a new book that I recently got, and I will tell you guys about it because I'm really excited about it. So this is George Saunders' A Swim in a Pond in the Rain, in which 4 Russians give a masterclass on writing, reading, and life. So this is actually a book that George Saunders wrote, mainly talking about Chekhov, Turgenev, Tolstoy, and Gogol, which sounds like my perfect book. So I definitely want to read. I haven't read enough Chekhov, Gogol, or Turgenev to really sink my teeth into this book. So I also love how beautiful is this cover. I'm really excited to read this, but I'm planning on reading a bit more from the authors and the works that he mentions in this book before I actually read this book itself, but I'm really excited about this one. This is one of the only purple books that I own, and so I started from the opposite end of the rainbow, so like the rainbow starts here and kind of ends sort of here, and then I wanted to do a reverse rainbow, so starting with purple, going into blues, and then greens, yellows, orange, pinkish colors, kind of like salmon, coral, and then into reds over here, and then black, gray, white, and then we now start with my classics. This is like a mini bookshelf tour. A real one will be coming soon. That's kind of what I was hinting at earlier. And then we start with my classics here. I have the little Prince mug, and then we have some classics. And now I'm going to work on this area, which is my Penguin, Black Spines obviously, and then my Pan Macmillans. I think I'm just going to move this over, put my Pan Macmillans into this shelf area, and then just move everything. So that's my plan, that's what I've done so far. I have just put the kettle up, so I'm making some tea, and I think I'm just going to continue now working on the lower portion of my bookshelves and just shifting my classics a bit. So here we go. Alright, we have obtained tea, but it is excessively hot, so I'm putting it on my desk and we're going to let it cool, and we're going to work on some book organization. This is also, if you guys saw like a bright light over here before, this is a little Prince sort of nightlight. So it has the little prince holding an umbrella over his rose. So that's what this is, and it is so sweet. I use it as a nightlight. Like sometimes I like mood lighting, so I'll put my fairy lights on, I'll put this light on, and it just adds a nice little atmosphere to my reading room. But I think I'm going to put this down while I reorganize this area. I can move my ottoman now because I don't have to be tall. I think I'm going to play some music. Okay, I am loving how this is turning out. Now I have my tea, which is warm enough to drink, or cool enough to drink. I need a bit more room to fit those books over there, because those are where my Penguin Deluxe books are. And I have this one book. This is my folio edition. The one that's facing out is my folio edition of Anna Karenina, and it's beautiful and I love it, and that's why I have it facing out. But I think I'm going to have to turn it to fit the new Penguin Deluxe editions that I have. So I think what I'm going to do is just turn this one, shift all of it down so that there's more room for those books. Of course I had to face out my cloth bound of Anna Karenina, so I think that I don't feel too bad turning my Folio Society edition of Anna Karenina, because I do have the cloth bound one facing out. So you gotta do what you gotta do to fit your books on your shelf. So I'm having so much fun. I hope you're having fun watching this. I'm so sorry, Levin, but you're going to have to be turned. I love you. Talks to her books while she organizes them. So beautiful. I'm gonna put, this is also another folio edition that I found secondhand. It's The Warden by Anthony Trollope. I'm gonna put them next to each other because we have two books with slipcases. How nice is that? Perfect. Trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. These are all shorter books, so I kind of want to keep them shorter. Oh, you know what? I can do this. This whole stack is Ernest Hemingway books because I am a huge fan of Ernest Hemingway, as you can tell. I can do this. Perfect. Okay, so now those are my Penguin Deluxe. So I'm just going to add these to the Penguin Deluxe section. Yippee! Oh my god, they all look so beautiful next to each other. Is this a Penguin Deluxe? I actually don't know. This is the Steinbeck Centennial Edition of East of Eden, which I haven't read yet, and I really want to. I have read Of Mice of Men. This is also the Centennial Edition. But they're the same height, and they're from Penguin, so I'm going to keep them together. These are just random. I feel like maybe I should move these. This is my mask ornament from when I went to see The Phantom of the Opera on Broadway with my best friend for my birthday. That was incredible. I could cry just thinking about it. I should just buy more deluxe editions so I can fit this whole thing full of Penguin Deluxe. Sounds like a good plan to me. This is a vintage edition of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is from Vintage Classics, and I love these. Maybe I'll put that together because that's like a special edition. Yeah, I feel like this should be a special edition little shelf. I weirdly want to put The Kreutzer Sonata and Other Stories by Leo Tolstoy and selected stories of Anton Chekhov with them. Because I kind of feel like those are, they're the same height, but you know what? I'm just going to have to get over that. I kind of want them to be together because I do have another Russian here, which is Mikhail Bulgakov's beautiful Master and Margarita, which is the Penguin Deluxe edition that I have been fawning over forever, and I finally got myself a copy. So excited. Also Philip Pullman's Fairy Tales from the Brothers Grimm, that's new. And you guys saw that I of course got the embroidered Emma, which is just the most beautiful thing ever. Oh, I should put Wind in the Willows next to it because this is also part of the embroidered series. Oh, maybe I'll do, this is a new book that I got. It's Italo Calvino's If on Winter's Night a Traveler, which I have been wanting to read more Italian literature because I am Italian, and Calvino is one of the most famous Italian writers ever, and I've heard incredible things about If on a Winter's Night a Traveler, and this edition is just so beautiful. It is from Mariner Publishing, I think I might put this here too. Yeah, this is kind of like a random, somewhat special edition shelf. If that makes any sense, which kind of doesn't, but that's okay. There we go. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Oh my goodness! I think I'm happy with this. Yay! Oh, it looks so good. Time to put my little tchotchkes and embellishments back. Oh, I love how this looks. Okay. Woohoo! So this is the wall that I was just talking about. This is where I keep some of my Pan Macmillan Collector's Library editions with my on the page other portraits, because I think they go really well together since they're around the same size, and I just absolutely love their covers. So my design behind this section, this little display, is whenever I have an author, I try to put them next to a book that either they have written, or like for instance, we have F. Scott Fitzgerald, but I don't have a copy of one of his books in the Pan Macmillans, so I put him next to Poems by Thomas Hardy because I just liked the look of it, honestly. I just loved the cover of Thomas Hardy, and I kind of felt like it went with F. Scott and Ernest, because that's Ernest Hemingway. I just felt like, I don't know, I liked them there. So then we have The Hunchback of Notre Dame next to Victor Hugo, then Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte next to Anne Bronte, then we have Midsummer Night's Dream next to Shakespeare. So they're kind of supposed to either be next to their own books or next to a book that sort of goes with their writing, or either I like the cover. So I am just going to add some of my new author portraits. I might have to take a few of the books away to fit them, so I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with that. But yeah, so here we have one of my favorite copies of Leaves of Grass. It is just the most beautiful edition. I love it. And so I put him next to my original Walt Whitman, and I think I'm just going to make room for my new Walt Whitman. So I'm just going to move some things over to fit both of them there. I always have an extra because I sell most of them, but I always save one for myself so that I have my own art. I think that looks good, putting them next to each other. You can kind of see the improvements that I made with him, but yeah, because I don't think I showed you guys him. You're getting a sneak peek of my new authors. Next to Walt is over here. We have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and then we have Jane Austen on the cover, or on the page of Pride and Prejudice, and then we have Emma by Jane Austen, and then Great Expectations, Charles Dickens, and then Anna Karenina. I think what I'm going to do is I want to put the new version of Dickens up here, but I also think I want to put either that side or this side. I think I might do this side of Tolstoy next to Anna Karenina, and I want to put him here because this is the view that you see, at least only a little bit when I film, because this is like the corner where I film. So I think I might take away Emma and then just have Jane Austen next to Pride and Prejudice, and maybe, ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move this over, put him next to her, and then I can fit the new version of Charles Dickens there, and then put Tolstoy next to him. There we go. I think I like that. Oh, perfect. Okay. I think I really like how that looks. I actually think I'm going to make a minor change. I'm just going to move this, put Tolstoy over here, and put Anna Karenina over here just because I think I like how that looks overall a bit more. Okay, we have leveled up. Now I think I'm going to move Anne Bronte and I'm going to take away Agnes Grey and I think I'm going to replace it with Ellen Montgomery and Anne of Green Gables. Okay, I might do that because I absolutely love this edition of Anne, so I really want that on display. Oh, actually, I think I might flip her. I love this side. I love both sides, but I think I might display that side. Yeah, I love that. Okay, I think I might take the Thomas Hardy away because I haven't done a Thomas Hardy portrait. I definitely want to, but I kind of feel like it doesn't necessarily make sense why he's here. So I think I'm going to take him away, and I think I'm going to replace him and move some people over, replace it with The Importance of Being Earnest and Oscar Wilde, which you can watch me draw on my channel. I actually film myself. I'm going to do this. Do I want this side or this side? I think I might do this side. And then maybe this side of F. Scott. What about this? I think I'm going to do this of Hemingway. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love how that looks. Okay, this is as tall as my tripod goes, so we're at somewhat of an awkward angle, but I think it would only be fitting to put Fyodor Dostoevsky next to this skull because this is actually Hamlet, and I put it next to Poe because I don't have an edition of Poe's poetry in the Pan Macmillans, and I don't have an edition of Fyodor Dostoevsky's, so of course I had to put them next to like a creepy skull because I feel like that just makes the most sense for Poe and Dostoevsky. So I think I'm going to move them over a little bit and just add Dostoevsky next to Hamlet. So I'm going to do that. I love this side. I'm going to do that side. I love that. I think that that looks cool. Now for the left side, I am just going to add one of my older portraits of Charlotte Bronte. Someone ordered a Charlotte Bronte print but never received it, so I had a spare, which was just my copy. So now I can replace my own, because I replaced theirs with my own, and put her back. So I think I'm going to put her, move Emily, and this edition. This is actually Persuasion, but I love the cover so much. I don't have an edition that's Virginia Woolf of a Virginia Woolf book in the Pan Macmillan, so I put her next to Secret Garden, and then next to her you saw was E.M. Forster, just because I felt like the cover kind of went with their style of books, and then I sort of felt like the cover for Persuasion went kind of with Virginia Woolf and Emily Bronte, so I think I'm just going to move them over. I'm going to put Charlotte next to Jane Eyre. That side, this side. I think I might do this side. Wonderful. Oh, perfect. They fit great. Yay! Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to now back up and show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think the one thing I want to do is just move Persuasion. There, we just want to do this. I think that's a bit more pleasing to the eye. I can always move it around. That's what I like about this area, is nothing is, you know, nailed into the wall or set in stone. I can move it around and display different things and make fun changes. So that's what I really love about this. I really like how it came out. I think it looks really, really nice. I love seeing all of my new portraits on display. It's so fun. And so you guys can see, like that's the corner that I film in, so you can have prime view of Leo Tolstoy and Anna Karenina, and sometimes Dickens too, depending on how I angle my camera. But I think that this might be it for my reorganization for tonight. I think I'm gonna read a bit more of War and Peace and then talk to you guys about it, because I haven't, I'll talk to you over here, hello, so you can see me. I haven't actually filmed a reading update yet of me talking about actually starting War and Peace, which is just mind-blowing because I'm loving it so much. I just keep thinking of other things to talk about. Anyway, so I think it's getting pretty late and I want to read before bed, so I don't think I'm going to talk to you guys about War and Peace tonight. I promise I will talk to you about War and Peace very soon. I hope you have enjoyed watching me reorganize my books and reorganize this little section of my room. A bookshelf tour is coming. I know you guys want it so badly and I will give it to you. I'm just never 100% satisfied with my bookshelves, but I really am now. I really like how they look. So a bookshelf tour will be coming, I promise. So yes, I'm going to continue to read War and Peace and I will update you guys, of course, as I go on. Hello, you thought I was gone, but I'm back. I'm on my tippy toes right now. I totally forgot to put Anne Bronte back. So I think what I'm going to do is take Persuasion away and then shift them over a little bit, put The Secret Garden in the middle, and add her so that there's enough room. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how that looks. Because I want the sisters to be next to each other. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. Guys, it's been 10 minutes. I'm back again because I forgot about Emily Dickinson. So I think I'm going to take away The Hunchback of Notre Dame, move Anne of Green Gables over, and fit her here. Yeah. Okay. I think I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, now I'm done. I promise, I don't think I forgot any more authors. If I did, I will be back. But I don't think I did, so I will now leave. Hello, future Carolyn is back. So 2 of the new books I have, as you can see, I'm sitting near my Penguin Deluxe editions because 2 of the new books I bought recently are Penguin Deluxe editions and I'm so excited about them. So the first one I got because I sold some of my books at my local independent bookshop, which they buy and sell used books. And so I sold some of mine and I got store credit because I want to support them. So I gave them books and then also gave them business, which is just great. The book that I got with the store credit is Middlemarch by George Eliot. It's this gorgeous Penguin Deluxe edition. I think it's so incredibly beautiful. I have been dreaming about this edition of Middlemarch for so long and I finally got it. The beautiful cover design is by Kelly Blair and the cover image or the glove is from Mary Evans, the National Archives, London, England. And it's just such a gorgeous edition. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of these that I put here already just to fit this. I think I'm going to put it next to Emma. Ooh, gorgeous. So pretty. Oh my gosh, they all look so amazing. I also went to my library's used bookshop. My library has this amazing program where you can donate books for free and then they sell them and the money goes towards supporting the library. And the paperbacks are $1 and the hardcovers are $2. And I saw this paperback and I know you're gonna think, Carolyn, do you really need another copy of this book? And the answer is no. But yes, it's my favorite book ever. I don't have this edition. I just felt like I needed to have it because I want to collect as many copies of this book as possible. That book is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. We all saw it coming. It's not a surprise. I have seen this cover everywhere and although I think it's beautiful, I don't really think it goes with the context of the novel. I sort of feel like this photograph is a bit untimely because like it's a woman with like her bare legs and you know women at that time obviously didn't bare their legs unless it was for other reasons. So maybe it does apply to the book, I don't know. Just like for some reason whenever I see this cover I just don't think it really goes with the time period of the story, but I do think it's a beautiful edition. It's a Penguin Deluxe. my dream come true would be to design a new Penguin Deluxe Edition for Anna Karenina, because like I like this cover, but I don't love it, and I want to design one myself that I would love and that I think everybody would love. So maybe I'll do that. Not that it'll actually get published, but you know, for my portfolio, I think that would be really fun. I think I'm going to put it next to Middlemarch and The Master and Margarita, because Russians, oh my gosh, they all look so good together. Look at those. I just have to get more now. And then I think I'm just going to find a new spot for these books that were over here. I think I might just move them back over there. But then I'm going to show you guys the other new books that I got. But we are going to move to a different part of my bookshelves to do that. Okay, so now we are back with my penguins. The other book that I got, this one I also got from my library's used bookshop. This is Ivan Bunin's The Gentleman from San Francisco and Other Stories. This actually sounds like an incredible book. I've never really heard of Bunin before, but then I was recently watching a YouTube video. I forgot who it was, but they mentioned him, and I thought, oh my gosh, I just got that book from him. So I went to my library's used bookshop with my friend. My friend saw this book, read the back, and she gave it to me and thought that I would really like it. So I read the back, and it sounds amazing. And it was only $1. The back says, it is translated by David Richards and Sophie Lund. A much neglected literary figure, Ivan Bunin is one of Russia's major writers and ranks with Tolstoy and Chekhov at the forefront of the Russian realists. Drawing artistic inspiration from his personal experience, these powerful evocative stories are set in the late 19th and early 20th century Russia of his youth, in the countries that he visited and in France, where he spent the last 30 years of his life. In the title story, for example, a family's tour of fashionable European resorts comes to an unexpected end. Late Hour describes an old man's return to the little Russian town in the steppes that he has not seen since his early youth, while Mitya's Love explores the darker emotional reverberations of sexual experience. So this just sounds really fantastic, and I want to try to read more different Russian writers. So Ivan Bunin is going to be one of them. So I am going to squeeze him, I think, by this old, because this is one of the more vintage editions of the Penguin Moderns. These are the newer ones. This is Perfume by Patrick Suskind. And we do have Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, which I haven't read yet. I think I'm going to put that next to, I'm going to put him next to The Grapes of Wrath, because it's kind of that same older edition of the Penguin Moderns. Perfect. Okay, we have now moved over a little bit. The next book that I have is going to go over here, and this is Ivan Turgenev's Spring Torrents. This is another Russian, which we just love very much, and this one is translated by Leonard Shapiro, and this, of course, I have heard of Ivan Turgenev, but I actually haven't read any of his books before, and I do have a few of them on my shelves now, so I'm super excited to read his novels, and this is just going to further my passion for Russian literature. He was actually one of the authors mentioned in that purple book that I showed you guys earlier, A Swim in the Pond in the Rain by George Saunders, and so I'm really eager to read more Russian literature just because I love it so much. It says on the back, returning to Russia from a tour in Italy, which I am Italian, so of course I am so excited whenever a book refers to Italy. 23-year-old Dmitry Sanin breaks his journey at Frankfurt and for the first time falls deeply, desirously in love. Convinced that nothing can come in the way of everlasting happiness between him and his fiancée, he impetuously decides to sell his Russian estate and start a new life, not knowing that his youthful vulnerability makes him potential prey for a darker, destructive passion. Ooh. Composed 30 years After the events it describes, Spring Torrents is an exquisitely written, partly autobiographical treatment of one of Turgenev's favorite themes, a man's inability to learn about love without losing his innocence. This translation by Professor Shapiro is accompanied by detailed notes and a critical essay on the story's place and the significance of its author's life and works. That sounds incredible. I honestly haven't heard much about Spring Torrents, but I'm really, really excited to read it, and that just sounds amazing. So that is going to go, I'm going to put it next to Tolstoy's Resurrection. This is one of the older Penguin Black spines, and I have this of Leo Tolstoy's Resurrection, so I think I'm just going to put it next to Tolstoy so that the Russians can be together. Perfect. We also have my little Charles Dickens figurine over here. I don't have one of Tolstoy. You guys saw I do have the one of Jane Austen as well. Okay, so the next book that I have, yes, it's another copy of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This one was very kindly gifted to me by my amazing friend Emma from her Instagram, Emma Redwood. She and I go to university together. She's my very best friend. She's the one that I went to the bookshop with this past weekend where I got the other books, and the library she went with me, and we exchanged Christmas gifts because we hadn't seen each other since before Christmas, and she got me this gorgeous vintage modern library edition of Anna Karenina, and it's just the most beautiful thing ever. So I think I have a collection of modern library books right here, and I have Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak and also Ulysses by James Joyce. That's what these two are. But I honestly don't think I would read Ulysses from this edition. Oh wow! There's something in here. I got this from my library's used bookshop as well because they do oftentimes have really beautiful vintage editions. What is this? Student thesis? Wait. No way. Class admittance card. What is this from? This is your official class entrance card. This card must be used for entrance at the above listed class. Give this card to your instructor at the first class meeting. Your grades and credits are dependent upon the instructor receiving this card. No way, there's a course number, a term. Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I have to keep it now. I don't know, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because that's really cool. But I want to fit this edition in with my modern library, so I do have to shimmy some things around. Can I fit it? It was meant to be. I can fit it. Okay, I thought I wasn't going to be able to fit it. Never mind. No worries then. Amazing! Oh, love it. She also gifted me this really beautiful edition of The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. I have quite a few of these books in that edition, so I just love them. I think that they're so pretty. I have, here, I'll tell you what they are. The Turn of the Screw, A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, which is one of my favorite books ever, and I read it in this edition, and I love this edition. This book means the world to me. A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Please read it. And then we also have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And now we have the Pickwick Papers. Just so beautiful together. Gorgeous. And they fit perfectly. Beautiful. Here's Emily Dickinson as well. Okay, let's get some other books. Okay, we have To Step on My Ottoman Again. The next book that I found at my library's used bookshop, the UK edition of Sally Rooney's Normal People, which I actually have in the hardback US editions, which I love, and this is the copy that I read it from. I've read it twice now, and it's one of my favorite books, and I've always wanted this cover design because I think it's so beautiful, and they had the UK edition at my library. I was wondering like how I guess someone must have bought it from the UK and then didn't want it anymore, so they donated it to my library. But again, my friend Emma, when we went, she saw this and she was like, oh my gosh, Carolyn, look what they have. So I really wanted to get the UK edition because I have been wanting this specific cover design for so long. So this one is going to go with my UK edition of Conversations with Friends because they have the same cover design and same spine design. So, absolutely love Sally Rooney's books. They are some of my favorites. So I'm just going to squeeze that in right there, and it fits perfectly. I think I also have some extra room. I got rid of a few more other books. That means I have some extra space on my shelves. So I think I might move some things around, and just so that that gives me more space to fit some other classics that I have to fit. So we're just going to shift. Amazing. So now I think I'm going to fill this whole shelf with my children's classics. So I'm just going to move these over to here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have my children's classics here, and then they're also here, but I think I'm just going to move them over so that they fit a bit better. Yeah, that fits perfect. I actually really like how that looks. I might try to fit my Shakespeare plays, which are down towards the bottom, up here, because I think I want to keep this as is because I really like the matching color. Okay, I've come into an issue. So this is actually smaller than where I had them at the bottom shelf, for whatever reason, is a bit bigger than this. And on the bottom shelf, these actually fit on top of here, but because they don't, I'm trying to figure out like how I should fit them. I had them up on the top of these, but I feel like that kind of looks, I don't know, does it look like cute cluttered or just regular cluttered? I honestly might just leave these like this for now, and then I can just come back to that and try to figure that out later. Okay, this is where my plays were, and now I think I'm just going to move, this is where my poetry is. I'm just going to move some of my poetry over and then shift all of this so that I can fit some more like paperback classics. I also have these little Shakespeare things which I forgot to put on my shelf, but it's a little Shakespeare card that I got at my local independent bookshop, and then also this, he walks. It's a little Shakespeare. I got him at the Metropolitan Opera when I went to see the ballet of Jane Eyre. And then I have my favorite female poet, Mary Oliver. I have Upstream, Blue Horses, 1,000 Mornings, and Devotions, which are just the most incredible poems on the face of the earth. This is like a butterfly mussel. It's just a regular ribbed mussel, but I always call these waterflies because they look like butterflies that you can find in the water. I have some rocks and shells from the beach. Keep those there. Okay, so my camera battery actually died, and while it was charging I finished. So I would just explain what I did. So first of all, I have a bunch of more room now because I'm getting rid of a few of my books. And I recently got rid of a ton of my books, and now I'm getting rid of more of them. I've gotten into the habit of really looking at my books and thinking, is this the exact edition that I want? Am I going to reread this book? Am I going to read this book at all? Am I still interested in this book? Do I want it on my shelves? I really want my shelves to reflect the reader that I am and the books that I really love and I'm really passionate about. Also, if you hear any noises outside, we're having a really bad rainstorm and thunderstorm, so if you hear any noises, that's why. It's very atmospheric and I'm loving it. It's like perfect weather to organize your books. But anyway, so I have a bunch of the Barnes & Noble classics, and like these are either duplicates or I want different editions. Like I don't love these editions of them. They're great, but I feel like they're not my preferred editions. I am keeping one copy, which is my edition of Les Mis by Victor Hugo, because this edition is actually abridged, and I have another, my Penguin Deluxe edition, which is gorgeous. That one isn't abridged, and that's the one that I read from last year, and I love that edition so much. But I feel like if I ever reread it, I want to try reading this abridged version, because one of my very close friends, Teresa, has read this exact edition and really likes it, and so I think I'm going to keep this one because I know that this is a reliable copy, and that if I ever do reread Les Mis, when I reread it, I'm going to read it from this exact edition. But besides that, these other books I don't really want anymore, or I have better editions of them, or editions that I prefer. So I'll just go through the books really quick. So we have A Christmas Carol, The Chimes, and The Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens. I have these in different editions that I really love, particularly the vintage editions, which I showed you guys earlier. I also have more editions as well. And then we have Ethan Frome and Selected Stories by Edith Wharton. I don't love this edition. I got it secondhand. It was like 50 cents. And I just don't love this copy. I think I'm going to get a different edition if I want. I do definitely want to read Ethan Frome, but I know I have the audiobook available, so I can always just listen to it for free. And then I have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I have another really beautiful edition of this book, so I don't need another one. I mean, I love this cover, it's so beautiful, but I have another edition of it, so I don't feel like I need that one. Then I have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. A lot of these editions I got secondhand, so it's not like I'm throwing away my money. I don't feel bad getting rid of these. Also, give them to a better home or give them to someone that wants cheaper alternatives. I'm definitely going to donate them to my library just so people can have easy access, and it's just nice to spread classics, I think. I don't have another edition of this one, surprisingly enough. Actually, do I? Do you hear the rain out there? Oh my gosh. I don't think I have another edition of Sense and Sensibility, so if I ever read it, I'm just going to get a different copy. I think I'll probably get the Penguin English Library, because those are the other Jane Austens that I have. So yes, and then I have Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. I love this cover, I love this painting. The pink is so bright and friendly and beautiful. I don't know if a color can be friendly, but I think this is a very friendly looking book. I read this book, I didn't love it honestly, and I don't have another copy of it, but I don't know if I'm going to reread it. So I might just give this, donate this to my library so someone else can have it and maybe enjoy it more than I did. And then we have Middlemarch by George Eliot. Like you guys saw, I did get the Penguin Deluxe edition, which I just like a little bit more than this one. So again, I'm just going to donate this one so that someone else can enjoy another beautiful classic. So those are the books that I'm getting rid of from the Barnes & Noble editions. Those are great, great editions. For me personally, they're not my favorite, and I have so many other ones that I love and prefer, so I'm just going to get rid of those. So as you guys can see, this is where I had my Penguin Deluxe, but I moved them over here. I made this my mass market paperback area, as well as some vintage. Like I have some vintage Penguins, A Farewell to Arms, and Lady Chatterley's Lover in these old Penguins, and then I also have other mass market paperback editions over here. I just feel like they look kind of cute, all having, the same size and just being short. I just like the height. And then we go over here, I have my special editions, Into Virginia Woolf, and then Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald. I have a bunch of room, so I faced out the Emma embroidery penguin threads. And then this one's designed by Corley Bigford Smith, who also designs the cloth bounds. This is The Great Gatsby, one of my favorite books, and I love this edition, so I just have it facing out. I purposely always put F. Scott Fitzgerald next to Ernest Hemingway because they're wonderful friends. They were friends in real life, so they should be friends on my bookshelves. That's how I see it. And then down here, I just moved over my poetry. I think I might rearrange this so that it's in height order because I want Mary Oliver and Walt Whitman to be next to each other, but I don't like how that looks, so I think I'm going to rearrange that again. And then I put some of my like really tall hardback classics over here. You guys saw earlier, this is my Folio Society edition of Anna Karenina, and then I have just some other tall editions of books that I just don't love how they look with the other traditional shorter books. And then this is just some random books, art books, some Audrey Hepburn books, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Vogue the covers, and then I have some other books over here that are just like either art books or taller books that I feel like I'm saying books so much. Books. But these are some other books that I think just don't really have anywhere else that they look like they fit, so I think they fit over here. Then I have some hardbacks into paperbacks, and then again we have more paperbacks. What else did I do? I just moved, yeah, so I had some other, the taller hardbacks over here. I just moved them to be over here because I feel like they would look a bit better over there. I did move around my Shakespeare's. I really didn't like how they looked. I felt like they looked too cluttered, so I did just shift some of my editions over. But besides that, I think that that's all I changed that you guys haven't seen. I will show you the Shakespeare's, and then I think I'm done. I think finally the book organization process is going to be complete. This video is going to be so long. I'm so sorry. But also not sorry because who doesn't love book organization videos? I know I do. They're like some of my favorites. Okay, so as you guys can see, I decided to move these. These are actually the Yale Shakespeare's, published under the direction of the Department of English at Yale University. So these I actually found secondhand at my local independent bookshop. I have Titus Andronicus, As You Like It, Oswald and Enswell, and The Comedy of Errors. There's a car going by. These are some of my favorite Shakespeare editions. I think they're so beautiful. And I felt like because they're cloth bound, they kind of look like they go, and you sort of can't really tell that they're Shakespeare's. So I decided to just move the other ones that wouldn't fit over here, and then just so that I have room, I turned Little Women to spine facing front and then just moved these over here. So that's really all that I did with the Shakespeare's. But besides that, I think I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm so sorry that it's so long, but I hope that it gives you inspiration. Maybe you put this on while doing something fun. We could organize our bookshelves together. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am so excited to now have my books organized in a way that I really like them, and then have a bookshelf tour coming soon, which I'm just so excited about. And yes. Alright, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. I am sending you my best wishes, and I will see you soon in another video. Happy reading!